with us Dr. Dhirendra Kumar Jha. He has done MTech PhD in data mining, and we thought to gain some of his time on machine learning algorithms. So we try to focus on random forest and logistic regression today. So mainly we will try to explore how real world projects work and how what is the project structure, real problem statements, and how and to train a model, what are different parameters we use in that. We'll try to get some of the information from him, and let's see. We can go and check real world problems. Yes, can you share the screen and show us?
Yeah. Thank you, Govind. Thank you very much. I'm sharing my screen. Yeah. Are you able to see my screen? Govind?
Yes, I can see your
Yeah,
screen.
sure. Hi, dear friends. So today is the common problem into the banking side. We have the lots of customers. So banks having some problems regarding the customers is coming from the approval for the loan. So they having some eligibility criteria. So we are check the conditions, what is the parameters, and is that the customer is eligible for the approval of the loan or not. But most, not the maximum customer is coming, some customer is coming for the loan purpose. So all average conversion rate is only 9% for the loan approval side. Now this is the real world projects. So we having the project structures just like the where we store the data in here, and here the explanatory data analysis file is existing into the notebook side, and the source folder structures where we having some files just like pre-processing data, training data, how to evaluate data. Some utility files is also there, how to predict data will be there. So these sources information is stored into the source folders. Now just like we having the pickle files, that name is model, into the model folders, and the configuration files store into the config YAML files which having some hyperparameters store the configuration of the projects, and we having some readme files regarding the project informations and requirements, just small information is there, but the main file is the main py.file which execute our projects, and the setup is using some package information which we need for here. Now we see here for the initial phases. So in this project, we already Govind is told to us, right? There is some two basic algorithm we are using, just like for the random forest and the logistic expression. So first we clone the projects. Here we're training the data and to evaluate that which parameter we use to train the model, which is best, and how to predict the model, how to tune the model for the best predictions and churn for that. And here is some files, data files which having some columns. So our data is having the IDs, what is the age of the customer and how many experience in this customer in the professional fields, what is the income or the salary is here, and where the area is belongs to that, what is the family members is there, how the education sites, right, and personal role will be provided here, right. So credibility at the credit side, what is the score is true or not. So at the last column we add finally for the prediction side is the loan is approval or not. So we here the loan data CSV files that having some columns, right, into the module side. Now so we see that that is a structure that currently current world is managed for that. Now we go to the what is the parameter we are used into the regression analysis side, right, rag model. So first of all, we see that what is the parameters, right? So here is the n estimator by default is value is 100, which is by default. So if we taking the 100, so it's a give the normal result, the normal quality is there, but the good. If we increase that, the complexity is improved. It takes us some times, right? The second parameter is the max depth. It is also integer type. Here, by default, it is none. That means no limit for the depth, right? If you want to go as a tree into the depth side is 3 to 10 side, so that is okay. It is prevent the overfitting, right? So we already see that overfitting and underfitting side. So if we see that here, if we take the maximum depth is 3, that means the limit is less. So very simple tree will be coming. So lots of record will be coming, right? So how to we having lots of record, but not the good result maybe, right? If we take the depth is very large, that's like 10 or 100, so that means produce the more complexities. So it generate the good result, taking the time also, but the it's underfitting, right? So that is some problems which is cause phasing. So by default we are taking the none, that means we don't define the depth of also. Yeah. Now that's we coming to the random state side. So by default is the random state we are choosing the 42. So all the time of sampling side, it's pick up the random numbers of records. So now suppose there is 1,000 records and we are fetching the 100 from the sampling record. So suppose we are fetching the record is 900 to 1,000 side. So every iteration side, it's not picking the another side of record, just like the 200 to 300 in the range side. It always pick to the 900 to 1,000 between that 200 records pick. That is the use of the random state, right? So random record picking, but into the particular classifier side, right?
Mm.
So job is minus good. That is okay. Yeah. So this is some parameters you are using to the logistic regression sites, and right, random state is 42 and the maximum limit is the 1,000 or whatever the none. We can see that what with the values are set it here, right? Now the code flow side, we check for that. There is the loading configuration. So the config file is here, right? Configuration to the config section side. Now, if we see here into the configuration side, just a minute to
It is at the top, config.yaml.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So here we load the load data, right? Pre-process the data. So this is the data side, which data we used for the process purpose also, right? And main thing is the model, right? So here we use either a model, the random forest or the logistic regression side. So now currently we initialize into the current model side, that is the random forest, and the target column is the personal loan and the path of the pickle files is here, and the test side is the 20%, the rest of 80% for the training side. Now the random state we already discussed for the 42 and the estimator is 100 and the maximum date is none. So these parameters we already discussed for that. 20% is the record side. Now our evaluation matrix is using for the accuracy, prediction and recall, and F1 scores will be give the prediction for that, which result is better for that, right? So this is for the configuration side we use. Now currently we use the random forest, right? Now we come to here. So for the code flow side, first of all, the code flow is executed for collect the configurations, right? Either we select the logistic regression or the random forest. Currently we use the random forest and training for that.
Can we go into this train file and check how we are actually training the file and how we are doing the actual parameter tuning and how the flow goes into it?
Sure, sure. Definitely, Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So here is some different scenarios. So some of the parameter we already discussed for that. So we are tuning by using these parameters to this model. So now we go to the train file side. Now we see here into the train file, there is a main function, right? So it will call the train model. So it will be train the model. Here we see that there is some configuration sort file is loading, and also load the data which already mentioned into the database files, data files. Now into the current flow, we are handling the missing values for the preposition steps, missing the values or how to well null value handles, remove the unnecessary data. So after finalize, we get the data files. Now we target the which having the target column. So we adding this column into the our model, which we predict the 1 or 0 as a final loan approval or not. And whichever is necessary, we can also exclude the exclude column is there, right? Now prepare the feature target here and categorical values also. Here we split the data into the test side, which you also mentioned that 20% we are using the test size data, and configure it for the random side. If we select the random forest, right? So currently we are using random forest, we set. So we here having the method that is train the random forest, which having these parameters, X train, Y train, and some configurations for the estimator, max step, and the random state. So it will initialize the classes here. Same thing for the logistic regression side. After the initialization, we set the values and we can execute for that. Now we go to the this method side. So I will show you. Here we get the parameters and we can train the data. So train the model, that means we having the random class forest classifier file. So this method we can passing the parameter and set the model for the training purpose, right? Same thing into the logistic regression method side. So it will initialize the logistic regressions. So here we having the models, different parameter settings. So we can perform that and fine tune that. After that, we save the data and execute that, right? We come to
Mm.
here, save the model, and again we execute the return the model. So after that execution, that we get the some results. If result is not appropriated, we can change the parameters, tune the models, and get the best result for our side. Yeah.
Yes.
Any
I
question,
think
Praveen?
it was nice, I guess. Currently, we don't have. If anyone will have the question, I will try to answer them. I guess you can stop sharing maybe. Uh,
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Praveen.